What's up, everybody? It's Kenya, and I have a story. So, as everybody knows, I'm publishing my first book, and the book release is March 2nd, 2013. I'm very excited about that. But in preparation for the book, I've been doing a couple interviews and talking to people about the book, and I realized that I put some snippets on my website about how the book came to be and all that, but I've never really done a video about what really inspired me to write it. And I'm not sure if this video is going to cover the gamut of that, but I wanted to give you guys a piece of it because I had a really full circle moment today that really speaks to how this whole process started. So hopefully I can get this done in 5 minutes. So went out last night and hung out really late, had a great time with friends, got laid down really late at night. But this morning, something in me told me to get up and go to church. And I do air quotes because I go to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. So it's not really church. It's a spiritual living center that is all about spiritual inclusion. And they're use tenets of all of the major world faiths in our teachings. And so I just say church because it's easier than just saying the Spiritual Living Center. People are like, what the heck is that? So anyway, I get this inclination to go to church this morning, and it just would not leave me alone. And I literally didn't go to sleep until 5 o'clock in the morning. And so at 9:15, this voice is like, get up and go to church. And I'm like, no, I'm sleepy. I haven't had enough rest. I'm not going to make it. 10 o'clock, the voice is like, no, seriously, really get up. Get up now, get dressed, go to church. So I'm like, I just don't want to go. So finally at 10:30, I finally was like, okay, I don't usually get those type of inclinations for no reason. So I get up, I go to church, and I'm really worried because I need to put gas in the car, and it's 10:47, and the church starts at 11:15, and I'm like, it's in freaking North Druid Hills. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm panicking. And so I get in the car, and I just I'm fumbling with my phone trying to figure out what time church starts. It doesn't start till 11:30. So I'm like, okay. So that was the first time that, second time that spirit showed up in my life. First, waking me up to go to church. Second, giving me an extra couple minutes to get there. So I get there, and the pastor is being honored today, and his name is David Auld. He's amazing, and he's being honored because of all of his work in spiritual inclusion. And they gave him this stole, and the stole had the symbols of all the major world faiths in order of I guess would you say origin, but it had the ancient Egyptian Egyptology, the symbol of the Ankh here, and then moving down Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity. It was beautiful. And he preached for 20 minutes, and it was an amazing service. He talked about quantum physics. He talked about the law of attraction. I felt like he was talking to me, and it was a really lovely service. So afterwards, I had inspired thought. And they have a bookstore, at the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. And just to put this in context for you, the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta is one of hundreds of churches of religious science across the country. And to put it in even bigger perspective, Louise Hay, who is the founder of Hay House, Wayne Dyer, Ayanna Van Zant, Lisa Nichols, all these giants in the self-help industry, in the new thought industry, are pretty much products of spiritual living centers of whatever place that they're from. So it's a really big network. And so their bookstore has books from these people in it, they're books that teach, they're books that people learn from. Sometimes they use these books as textbooks to teach classes. It's a major big deal. And so this same voice was like, just ask them if they would be willing to carry your book here. And I'm like, Kenya, but this is ridiculous. You're not Louise Hay. And I have a conversation with this man, and I tell this man what my book is about, and he tells me not only will they carry the book once it's published, but they will also pay me to put the book in the bookstore. Y'all, I couldn't even I couldn't even be emotional about it because I was just so in awe. And I told him, I said, you know what? It doesn't have anything to do with money for me. I would be so honored to put my book in the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta and possibly be able to put my book in all the spiritual living centers across the country. Just the validity of that is amazing because this is my faith. This is what I do. And you know, it was interesting today when he was talking about religious inclusion, because for years I've wondered why I've been so resistant to subscribing to a particular religion or a particular faith, or saying I am this, I am that. And a couple years ago I said, you know, I'm Buddhist because I felt like Buddhism rang truest with me. But even in saying that, like, I still believe in the principles of my God. I still believe in the love your neighbor as you love yourself from Christ. I still believe in some degree of there being not deities, but I believe that God shows up in a lot of different ways, and that's, you know, Hindu and some of the polytheistic religions. Like, I can accept all that. And so the Church of Religious Science has given me a place where I don't feel that there's any conflict in how I live my life and what I believe. And so the validity of this church that is what I believe, saying, yes, you know, we will accept your work here, and we will, you know, we'll bring you into this community of authors and teachers and life changers. I mean, Louise Hay is a life changer. You know, Dwayne Dyer is these are healers, you know, and what's beautiful about them is that they live the life of the work that they do, and they were living that life for years before they started publishing books and speaking, because it's a daily struggle to, it's a daily journey. We're not going to say struggle, to live a life of spiritual inclusion when you're living in a world of people who are very much, it's this way, it's that way, it's my God, and if you don't accept my God, then, you know, hey, holla at you in hell. Like, so it was just a blessing, and I wanted to share that with you. But I also wanted to say what was really cool today is during the sermon, he says that we have got to stop believing that the things that we want in life are not natural. He said that when we want money or we want a great relationship, we feel like we have to work and push and pull, because we don't understand that these are natural occurrences, being a product of source energy. You know, nature doesn't ever struggle to like grow trees or shine sun. I mean, the sun still shines even when the clouds are around. Like, the sun is still there, and it doesn't ever struggle to, right? You know, it's not like, you know, the news, they're like, the sun this morning had a tough time raising, we had to go out and lift it up on a crane. Never. Like, these things are just natural, and I'm learning that the things that I want are natural. That it is normal for me and you and everyone to be successful, for us to be happy, for us to be abundant, and for us to get the things that we want. You know, your life is the prayer. Your life is the asking. You know, the way you treat other people is the way you attract those things to your life. And so I just want to say I'm incredibly blessed, humbled, and excited that when my book is printed, it will be at the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. And that's a victory for me. You know, I'm sure that we'll be doing Barnes & Noble and all that down the road. But right now, having it there is more important to me than having it anyplace else. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Until next time, Silence Be Seen, March 2nd, 2013. Holla at you. Bye.